Welcome in to episode 5 of the Playpants podcast. I put Jason on the spot right out of the gate. I tell him, I need a 2-minute story out of you, and he delivers.
And maybe there's a tip in here on how to get the smell of barf out of your car.
I recently had a chance to talk to The Offspring, and I pulled the old first job, first piece of music, first concert, and first car. We'll go through our lists.
And Daniel Day-Lewis turns 57 years old this week, and I consider him probably one of the best actors of all time. So that's going to bring us to our favorite top 5 actors of all time. And this is not easy.
And not once, but twice, I threatened to quit the podcast on episode 5.
Let's go. It's time. Put on Playpants.
All right, everybody. Well, welcome aboard. And it looks like we are on episode 5. He's Jason Ginty. I'm Rod Ryan. Welcome to the Playpants podcast. I don't know how you're listening to this, but, download, make sure you subscribe wherever you're getting your podcast from. It's really important to subscribe to us and leave us some feedback. We've got all the social medias at Playpants Pod. So hit us up on Twitter, which we're kind of sucking at Twitter. That's okay. But, Instagram, I'm digging the comments, and Facebook's kind of still going to be, the most interactive. So at Playpants Pod on all of that, wherever you get your podcast, wherever you download, great. We're glad you found us. And then if you're just listening and you want to see how goofy we look, we're always putting these up and loading them up on our YouTube page at Playpants Pod.
Rod,
Jason Ginty, good to see you again.
Yeah, man. It's good to be seen. And in the YouTube, man, you never know what kind of gems are going to show up on the YouTube version. The video version, you can sometimes get a couple of good looks of some things on the YouTube version. It's important to check out both, maybe.
If you mean your nutsack on last week's episode, that's not like a good thing, and that's not really a great way to sell the YouTube channel.
The short shorts thing, I think, sort of took off this week. I've got people saying they want concerts to come back just so they can come to an outdoor festival to see if I'm wearing short shorts.
Okay, I was gonna call bullshit if you were going to tell me, I got people telling me that, where did I get those? I want to get them too. Not one person. Not one person. No. I didn't see one person have your back on those stupid short shorts you were wearing last week.
No, okay. This may just be me. It just might be me, man. I don't know. I might be a lone wolf on this one.
All right. I kind of sprung this on you, and, we get inundated with all of these stupid, national days, and National Pizza Day, which I don't mind. And then National Pepperoni Pizza Day, then I don't mind. But there are some silly ones. Yesterday, on Wednesday, was National Tell a Story Day, or it was someday this week. Mm-hmm. So I kind of threw that out to Jason, and I said, okay, bro, putting you on the spot. I'm starting my timer. You have 2 minutes to tell us all a story. Are you ready?
Hold on. I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right. In 3, in 2, in 1, clock is rolling. You got 2 minutes to tell us a story, Jason Ginty.
So I'm in college, right? And I stayed and I lived in my parents' house. So my buddy comes home from college, right? Freshman year. And he's like, Ginty, let's go out. And I had been working at the radio station part-time for a while. And for some reason, I picked up this habit of smoking cigars, right? Filthy habit. Don't do it. So we go into a bar, a shitty little bar. My buddy borrows his dad's car. We go out, we're drinking, we're smoking cigars, we're doing shots, the whole 9 yards, right? Then we're heading home, right? Now we're heading home in his dad's car, and he goes, dude, whatever you do, don't throw up in my dad's car. He will murder me. He will fucking kill me. And I go, all right, dude, I ain't gonna, hey, stop at 7-Eleven. I'm starving. Get me some Doritos, right?
Bad mix.
So his girlfriend's driving the car. I'm in the back seat. He's in the front. I'm eating some Cool Ranch, and then I got to throw up. And what did he tell me? Don't throw up in my dad's car, whatever you do. So I'm trying to be a good soldier. I'm trying to unlock the back door. Child locks, can't get out. I try to roll down the window. And remember, I'm about to barf. You don't have a lot of time on the old clock when you got to throw up. So what do? I turn my head and I throw up all over the window. I couldn't get it down. And it runs all down the door. Okay. That's not
in all the crevices of the door.
Everywhere, dude. And then all over the floor, all over me. Long story short, he's a little upset. Then the next afternoon, I go over to help clean out the car. He goes, I already got it. Thanks, asshole. He goes, get in the car, see if it smells like barf. Because my dad's coming home tonight. it cannot smell like barf no matter what. He'll get in the car and he'll know. And I go, all right. I get in the car and it smells like dog shit and like cleaning solution. I go, hey, it smells pretty good. There's no barf smell, but it smells like dog shit. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, that's because I picked up some hot fucking fresh dog shit and I smeared it on the carpet and then I cleaned up the dog shit. I'd rather have it smell like dog shit. I can explain dog shit to my dad. I can't explain your dumbass barfing in the back seat. Was that the right move or is that the wrong move on his part?
That was, I don't know where that seems like that's a good idea.
That's what I said.
Dog shit. I get it that you would rather take the hit for the dog crapping in there, but no, that's bad. I don't know. He's got a hell of a stomach to do that.
Either way, it's not good. Boy, telling a story in 2 minutes is not easy.
Okay.
All right. Let me get you on the clock.
All right. I can do it in 2 minutes. Yeah, I can do it in 2 minutes. All right. 2 minutes. All right. I'll start. Here we go. All right. So it's Voodoo Fest in New Orleans. It's a big show. It's a really, really big show. And I don't know that I had been up on stage in front of as many people as before the Tool show. So Tool's playing Voodoo, and whatever the deal is, Maynard, I got a whole thing about Maynard. I don't get along with him. I don't know what it is. I don't care for the guy. I'm assuming it was him being some sort of a diva in the back. Maybe they were having problems that were legit. I don't know. But you can imagine people are excited about Tool coming up, and now they're late. So what's happening? People are pushing forward now, right? Ooh. Now, I do get I've already been told that I can do the intro. I can bring them out. So that's huge. They're the headliner. I'm going to be on stage. I'm bringing Tool out, this massive sea of people. It's awesome. So they tell me, get out there, tell people to stop pushing. I'm like, ugh. You never want to be that guy, you know, because obviously you're not cool. Hey, stop pushing, you know. So I did go out there. I did what I was told. I said, okay, stop pushing, stop pushing. So I come back off stage. Tool's not ready yet. I'm like, oh, these people are getting pissed, right? Well, it's kind of one of those, you know, I don't want them to kill the messenger. I'm the guy, you know? Right. So finally, and it's got to be almost 20 minutes that they're late. Okay, they're ready. Get out there, boom, introduce Tool, all right? But don't say here they are. Say they're coming up. You know that gig because they want a little buffer music. So I go out there. Here's my moment. I've got the microphone. Yeah, what's up? I'm Rod Ryan from my radio station there. And I'm like, man, coming up, guys, Tool. And I'm feeling like a champ. And I'm walking off the stage. And you take that microphone and you go up. And as I'm walking off the stage, somebody hummed a whole lemon and it hit me in the dick. And I was walking off the stage and I went, Kuh! And I'm still waving. And I'm walking off the stage half hunched over. And I'm like, can I pull this off? It was the longest walk ever. I got hit right in the seeds. Remember they used to make those lemonade drinks where they like squeeze the lemon in there and then it was all sugar water?
Yeah.
Somebody perfectly hummed a whole lemon at me and it hit me right in the dick after I introduced Tool. And I had to walk off stage. And I know that 100 people right there in front saw it.
And you're just like, all good, man. Nothing to see here. And you're just dying inside from the pain, but you can't look like a bitch either. You know, you can't.
It's kind of, you know this because, you know, radio, it's not the most glamorous thing. You know, on the entertainment ladder, we are lucky to be just maybe touching the first rung, and then somebody will come by and say no, and they'll step on your fingers like, no, get off here. You're radio. You don't belong up here. So, you know, we have these great jobs. But there's these moments like getting hit in the dick with a lemon, introducing Tool, and everyone seeing it. It's a microcosm of like what we do.
Yeah, because it's every time, like you mentioned, every time you think, okay, this was badass, something always fucks it up for you. There's always some little hinge. The first time I ever introduced a band, what did I do? And I was nervous as shit. I think I was introducing like Dream Theater or some shit. Like 5,000 people. First time on stage introducing a band. I'm freaking out. I'm losing my shit. I go up and I got everything prepared, what I'm going to say. And there's the big mic stand, you know? So I'm going to go use the singer's mic right dead center. I walk out, you know, the the base of a mic stand. You know, it's that like heavy lead metal part.
Yeah, the part that sits on the floor that keeps it stable.
Holds it. Yeah. What do? I walk up and I step on just the edge of it, and the microphone just goes smash me right in the fucking hits me, dude. You know how when you get hit in the face, you see stars. Like it just you put your fists up and fight somebody. I gotta spit out, hey, it's Ginty and blah 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 radio station. Here's Dream Theater, and smile through it like nothing happened. Run off stage. And I put ice on my face for the next hour, dude. Fucking A, nothing goes right. I swear to God, in this business, there's just always one little thing.
In the D, it was a perfect shot. I'm telling you, this guy was a sniper with the lemon, and it wasn't even like I cut lemon in half. Boom! I looked at it was a whole lemon. Like, what are you doing at a festival with an entire lemon? What are you making? You making drinks in the crowd, in the pit?
That's a serial killer, man. That's a dude who was at home. Fuck Rod Ryan. I hate that guy. I can't listen to his shit in the morning. I'm going to bring a lemon. I'm going to wait for the Tool show to be 20 minutes late. I'm going to sneak over to the side of the stage and I'm going to whip a lemon and I'm perfectly going to hit him in the dick.
I didn't know if it was because they were late. I have no idea. Did he save it for me? Did he bring it? Did he write my name on that bullet and throw it up there? I don't know. This week, we had mentioned on the air here in Houston, because the actual event happened in Houston, Super Bowl. Right when I get here, Jason and we've done, I think the very first episode we kind of got into, in the first and second episode of this podcast, we talked about how we worked together in New Orleans, and then boom, we went out to lunch one day and I said, guys, I'm leaving. And I went to Houston, and I told them I was leaving in November of 2003, at the end of November. It was close to Thanksgiving. And then I was out. I was going to work till Christmas, and then boom, I was going to come here to Houston. Well, so I start here on January 2nd, 2004. The Super Bowl is, February 4th, so 30 days, from when I start doing mornings here. And I worked the same deal that you told a great story about us going to New Orleans. We said, yeah, we'll do it, but we need Super Bowl tickets. The year that you and I moved to New Orleans, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. So we parlayed getting those jobs to getting tickets. I did the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, boom, I'm coming there. Okay. Well, of course I'm going to need, tickets to the Super Bowl if I'm going to, come there and work. So that worked, believe it or not. So the significance of that Super Bowl, because I don't want to get into Tom Brady or anything like that. What I'd like to get into is the halftime show. Janet Jackson. That was the show that was deemed Nipplegate. And Justin Timberlake was up on stage with her and ripped her shirt at the end of the show. And then boom, now you got Janet's floppy titty on television. And holy shit, all hell's breaking loose. I'm at the game. I did not see that. I didn't know. People don't remember there was a streaker at that game. I thought what I was going to be talking about tomorrow was who won the game. And oh my God, there was a streaker in Houston. Well, that's not what anybody wanted to talk about. All anybody wanted to talk about was Janet's nipple. And I said, what are you talking about? It didn't transfer to the live audience. So I think everybody kind of knows that story. They're making a documentary about it. From the same people. Did you see the Britney Spears, Framing Britney Spears? Did you watch that?
I didn't. I actually punched it up this morning looking for it. And it's like, there's so many options to see shit. I couldn't figure out where the hell it was.
That's tough right now. You're right, dude. That's a whole other thing.
What the fuck is it?
There's so many streaming services. There's so much out there that it's getting difficult to find things. And you hear people talking about it. Nothing pisses me off like those exclusive Apple TV, because I really would like to see the Beastie Boys documentary. Yeah. And that's only on Apple TV. You know what? You can go shove your Apple TV up your ass. All right. Right. So Framing Britney Spears, it had its moment, and there's this big movement to, free Britney, and Justin Timberlake gets called out in it because however he treated Britney, he was on the cover, maybe like Details magazine. Now think about this. Here we are talking in 2021. Justin is, after the breakup, it's like Justin Timberlake goes out on his own. He loses the boy band image, but let's give him credit because he got in Britney's pants, something like that, or he deflowered Britney. Like that was on the cover of a magazine, dude.
That's all anybody cared about in the rock world. Oh, he's banging Britney. Who gives a shit about his music?
Yeah.
That's all we cared about.
So they're doing this documentary about Janet Jackson's Super Bowl. That's where we got the term wardrobe malfunction.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what people don't realize is that changed radio. That was the biggest change to radio that I have been associated with since you and I started doing this in the, I guess it'd be the early 90s when we started doing college radio. It's 2004. And the knee-jerk reaction to what happened on a TV broadcast, I still can't, the purpose of this podcast is for us to explain things. And I feel like I'm going to get into a position where I'm going to say, I still really don't know why they attacked radio. There were 4 fines at TV stations, and they ended up fining CBS $500,000, something like that, and then they dropped it. But they were going after radio stations. Now you're like, well, why? It was Janet's titty on television. Well, it was broadcast. And they said, we've got to buckle down on broadcast. And the easiest thing for them to pick on was radio. Howard Stern was still on regular radio then.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the main reasons he got the F out, and he went over to XM Sirius after that, because they were attacking shows that he had done previously. They went after this guy, Bubba the Love Sponge, who did a show in Florida. They started levying all these fines, and they took minimum fines, and they started threatening. They took minimum fines. I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah, they jacked them all up. They jacked all the minimums up.
Potential fines, they were $27,000 per violation. Well, they said, okay, we're going to put $500,000 on these now. You guys have to really straighten out. So all these morning shows, and Jason and I did a certain kind of morning show that was very popular of its day. In 1999, Jason and I are on the air in New Orleans. That I'm glad social media wasn't around. I'm glad. I mean, I know there's pictures around. I know there's things that we did that you cannot do now. There's things that we did on our radio show that if somebody came out and did a whole piece on it, it'd be hard to say, yeah, we did do that. We did do that. This was the single biggest blow to radio since you and I have gotten into it because of a titty on television. I don't think most people know that.
I didn't even know it.
All those radio. So the legendary show here in Houston is Stevens and Pruitt. And
Right.
They did a very, very adult morning show. Okay, Jason and I, strippers in the studio, that was no big deal. There was a feature at the Gold Club. There was a feature at the Men's Club. You know, these girls that were like porn stars, but they would come in as the feature. They would always come in and do interviews with us. So all of these morning shows that were geared towards men, think about Maxim Magazine and really pushing the envelope. Janet Jackson's titty stopped all of it in its tracks. If that's all you knew how to do, you couldn't do your morning show anymore. And morning shows were getting hacked left and right from a television broadcast, the one that they want to make a documentary on. If they don't, and I know they're not going to, because I know some of this stuff is like news to you. If they don't cover the ramifications on what the FCC and how they crack down on TV and radio, and if they don't spend enough time on radio, I'm completely out on this documentary. There has not been a single nuke dropped on radio like Janet Jackson since maybe going back to the old payola stuff that you discussed.
Oh yeah, the last episode, the payola was a big deal. This is an interesting thing because like when you sent me this, I was like, what are you talking about, dude? That was on TV. So I was no longer doing morning. So I went out to go be a regular DJ who just went, hey, here's The Offspring. That's Pearl Jam. You know, so the morning thing, I went from strippers in the studio to just being a regular DJ. So it never affected my world. I never cared. I never paid attention. All I read was that, you know, Stern was leaving and getting fined and going over to XM or whatever it was. And then all these other guys, you know, Opie and Anthony got in trouble. And then, you know, everybody got in trouble. Everyone, you saw these dudes who were in their local markets getting fired or suspended. Because, man, once you pay one fine, the company is going to be like, okay, see you later, bye. Even though these shows all had ratings and they all had revenue streaming into the stations, a $500,000 fine, a lot of these markets aren't going to be able to handle that. And a lot of these companies didn't want to handle it. So it just started to fall apart. Now it was kind of, there were some things that were starting to happen prior to that too. where people start getting nervous. But the Janet Jackson thing was interesting. And what's very messed up about that, Rod, is that you got to realize Janet Jackson's, I timed it, her titty. Okay, let's really break this down.
Dude, nice research.
Yeah, well, it was, I really, I put in a lot of work for the show. Half a second, it was on TV, and it was covered by she had some weird star nipple ring on it. So you didn't even see.
We talked about it the next day. Apparently she bought it. It's it's a piercing that covers the nipple. It was a sun. It was like a silver sun. Apparently she picked it up in Montrose, as the legend goes. I kind of think she probably brought that to Houston with her, but everyone runs around here thinking she bought that the night before.
It was a half a second. Now think about it, dude. At halftime, you got 60% of your audience going and eating chips and taking a piss. A lot of dudes didn't give a shit about watching Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake for the halftime show. Guys don't care. Why this became such a big deal is because there's a thing called TiVo. That was your rewind, fast forward, rewind. That was a big deal. The technology had just been getting going. If it wasn't for that, nobody would have probably even noticed because it went by fast. You could blink, but everyone was freeze framing that shit. And then it got out everywhere. Then it spread like wildfire.
Because you could get like a screen cap of it, and then the picture was going all over the place,
everywhere. But the technology didn't exist until then, and that was one of the reasons that blew up. Because think about it, dude. You didn't see it. Of course, you were at the game. I was watching on TV. I just saw him reach over, pull the thing, and then I was like, okay, whatever. And I moved on about my day. It's because of the screenshots, and it must have been like a slow news week. And those things all help to make stupid shit like this blow up.
Right.
And
I would say no less than, so what you said and how long that is, I would say no less than 100 people lost their jobs in radio after that.
Oh, okay. Easily.
So my company at the time was Clear Channel. They came out with something that was zero tolerance. Mm-hmm. They had to react because the FCC, the one thing that the biggest thing that they always tell us, don't protect the license. If the station ever loses their license, or if they just threaten that they're going to take away your license, we talked about the business of radio and how it is big business. If you don't have a license, you can't broadcast. And then boom, you go dark. You can't make any money. You just cannot make any money. Now you're responsible for everyone's salary. So you got to protect the license. So my company comes out with something that's zero tolerance. Well, what? You let me do it. The difference was you and I did a morning show a certain way for a year together in 99 I get here. I'm sorry. In 2003, right? I think I'm getting my years wrong. In 2003, I'm here for 30 days in Houston. I'm continuing that kind of morning show. I'll tell you what, in that first month, I gave away a trip to the Bunny Ranch. God rest his soul, Dennis Hoff, who's no longer with us. We were pals with him. We did a contest. We sent a listener to the Bunny Ranch to go and have legal sex with prostitutes in my first 30 days. That didn't happen after Janet Jackson. There was no Dennis Hoff coming on the air. There was no Bunny Ranch promotions and sending listeners out there.
No strippers.
I did it for 30 days. The same kind of morning show you and I did. Janet Jackson, boom. Party's over, guys. And people are getting fired left and right. One guy, I said that Bubba the Love Sponge, $750,000 for something that he did before Janet's titty came out. They're like, oh, let's just start looking at stuff that's been going on. It was the most unfair, most ridiculous, Wild West, nobody's protecting us thing ever. I couldn't believe that it was allowed to happen that way. It was the craziest shit ever in radio.
Absolutely.
Because of this, what you said was a second.
Half a second. It was half a second. And you know what's really messed up about this, if you want to think about it, from Janet Jackson's side of things, she didn't do anything, and she took all the heat from that standpoint. Justin Timberlake reached over and pulled the flap. Janet was standing there. He walked away because he's the dude. Oh, no big deal, man. The radio stations, Viacom, who was CBS at the time, I guess, or became CBS. I don't know. It's hard to keep it all straight. They literally said, do not play any Janet Jackson songs on any of your radio stations anymore. And she had a the reason why she's playing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Janet Jackson videos on MTV. Shut her shit down. Her career just went from like superstar to nobody. And she was standing there. And Justin Timberlake is the one responsible for the thing. And she
did the
whacked.
Actual action.
Yes. It
There's
was
no
her
way.
titty.
It was choreographed.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was choreographed.
Because I even think the lyric is, you'll be naked by the end of this song.
Right.
And then boom, he does it. But you're right. He skated free on all of that. The same reason why they kind of went after him on the Britney Spears, the same people that are doing the Britney Spears doc, the same people that did that are going to be doing this one. And Justin put out a statement and he said, listen, for anything that I've been in the past where, something didn't go right, or he threw out some apology.
Right.
A reaction to that documentary. He didn't really do anything that bad. Now he probably, said some things after he broke up with Britney that he's not proud of, but he apologized for that. He's in more trouble now for this incident. The rumor is what happened a couple of months before he ripped the titty was when Madonna kissed Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. And if you remember, they had a camera ready to go. All the cameramen, they knew in rehearsal what was going to happen. There was that kiss between Britney and the kiss. I mean, it was the kiss around the world. It was awesome. It's still awesome to this day. But they went and they showed Justin and he looked sick to his stomach. So one of the theories is that was his way to get back. Look at, I'm the bad boy. I'm going to, do this on my own. Well, it didn't work out. Is there enough here for a documentary? I mean, we've talked about it at length quite a bit right now.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to figure out. It's only going to work is if Janet comes clean and talks about all the bullshit she went through afterwards. Was it choreographed? Did they mean to do it? Because what she has said in different interviews is that it was choreographed, but she was wearing like a red bra underneath. And it was supposed to, because she was wearing all black leather. They were pulling on this tearaway titty cover, and it was supposed to just show her red bra underneath so the red bra would stick out. Well, apparently he got a fistful of everything and ripped the whole thing off. That's the wardrobe.
That's the wardrobe malfunction.
Correct. And if that's the case, well then, what pisses me off, going back to the radio side of thing, and it shouldn't piss me off because I know why. The suits, dude. And look, we both work in radio, so I want to be careful here. I want to be real careful. I don't get anybody in trouble. But the FCC came down and was like, okay, this is the deal. You're all going to get fined. You got to do this. You got to do this. Do you remember any of these companies fighting back against the FCC? And I know you got to be real careful with that. You can't fight against the FCC.
No. They crumbled. They crumbled. They said, okay, boom, you're going to increase the fines. Great. Hey, look at this memo we just put out. We're Clear Channel. Right. We just put this out. We're with you guys. Zero tolerance. We will not put up with this. We're standing with you. They did not do anything to push back at all. We will do anything for you to stay away from us.
Jesus, man. And then did someone sit all the morning shows down who they didn't fire and go, okay, guys, here's what you can and cannot do? Or did you just have to go in there and go and be on your best behavior and hope you didn't say the wrong thing?
No, nobody really said anything. I got that look, and you've been involved in those meetings where it's like, guys, just don't screw up right now. It's a very tough time. And I was brand new in Houston, dude. I'm brand new.
No pressure.
They brought me in for a certain type of morning show. Right. And now 30 days in, you know what? Don't do any of that stuff that we brought you here to do.
Jesus Christ. But see, to your testament, Rod, into your longevity in that role, like you were saying a minute ago, that a lot of guys didn't know how to do other shows.
No,
you had to adapt on a fly, and you're the brand new guy. You're brought in to go get ratings and revenue. So you got to just flip and redo your entire show and clean it up. And to do that, it's not easy. Yeah, no, a lot of guys are no longer in the business. And then you get the people who are like, yeah, your show's kind of watered down now. Yeah, you want to know why?
Yeah, because Janet Jackson's floppy titty. So
on
now
TV.
you at least know a little bit about that moment, how it just dropped an absolute bomb on the radio world. Okay, I don't know a date yet when they're going to have this out, but I'll go back to something that you said earlier. I don't see Janet or Justin being involved in this. Britney Spears was not involved in framing Britney. So, sponsors, hey, I saw some pictures. I had some friends in New Orleans, and they took a tour, Pirates of the Quarter. They took the tour. They were putting up pictures on social media, and the pirate was great. The captain was showing them all around. This is probably the most unique tour in all of New Orleans, and it's coming back. It's coming back. All I got were pictures. I wanted to stop my social media this past weekend because, I knew all 10 people and they were all posting separate things from New Orleans. So this is a 5-star rated walking tour. It tells the tales of smuggling and the sword fights and the cannons and the rum. And it's easily the most unique walking tour in the French Quarter. Super fun. You can keep partying. Okay. It's not like you're taking a class. The nobody parties harder than the captain, all right, or the quartermaster who does these tours. So you're gonna have a great time. You're gonna learn a ton of stuff. So discover like real pirate history, things that went down in the French Quarter on the streets that you're walking on. Piratesofthequarter.com, links on the Play Pants pod page and on our YouTube page.
Rod, you had the very cool opportunity not to technically interview because nobody's doing real interviews anymore. It's all via Zoom.
Yeah.
But dude, you got the chance to sit down with one of the bands that I think, I know they're huge, but they always seem to fly under the radar in some weird way. The Offspring, dude. The massive band. I love the Offspring, but they've been away for like 9 years, and you recently sat down and you got to talk to Noodles and Dexter.
Noodles and Dexter are like, inseparable. Those two guys, they've been the core. They've been there since day one. Right. And they're so cool. Nothing has changed. I've got a chance to talk to them, over the years now, and they've never not been cool. Even when they were like this kind of, this punk band when they first started. You're right. As far as the Offspring flying under the radar, I don't think the body of work, if you look at it, I don't think it's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But
really?
The record is that they had the highest independent selling album of all time. Okay. When Smash came out, that was on a little razor blade. I don't know if it was on Roadrunner. I can't remember what they were on at the time. But they talked about it. And it was an independent record. Okay. And it broke every record for a label that wasn't getting big, huge, record company support. RCA, Columbia, Atlantic Records. They're outselling all of them. And they're basically working with these two guys with a little office with a bunch of stickers on the door. That was their record label.
And it just goes to show you sometimes, the little guy can win if you've got the great song. And they had that great song, Come Out and Play, Keep Them Separated was the one that broke through for them.
Yeah.
And it was so weird and so unique, and it just blew up for them. Well, you got a chance to sit down with them, and I'm going to play a little clip.
So, Dexter, we'll start with you. First job.
Loading trucks at Montgomery Ward in an orange jumpsuit. Oh, that was fun.
Noodles, first job.
Paperboy.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only difference was I'm collecting papers in Buffalo and I can't even pull the little ticket because my hands are frozen. And I'm sure you're in sunny California just slinging them from your chopper.
Oh, the rain in California was the fun time. Yeah, most of the time it was sunny and boring. Yeah, I loved the rain because, everything got wet.
All right, so that's just kind of a sample. So what I got to ask the guys, and I thought maybe, I would throw this over your way. So same thing I did with Dexter and Noodles, and you can add a little of your story to it. But what I wanted to know with them is, tell me your first job. Tell me your first piece of music. Okay. Your first car. Oof. And your first job. And maybe we do job because you probably needed the job to get the car. So yeah, let's go. Job. Okay. No, job, music, concert, car. Jesus job, Christ. Music, concert, car. Here we go. Jason, first job.
First job, I was like 15 and a half years old. You had to be 16, but I wanted a car really, really, really bad. So I lied on my application. And my first job, I was a bus boy at a hotel restaurant in a little
I don't know
dinky
this story.
town. Oh, dude.
I'm all prepared for you to tell me that you were getting the shopping carts.
No, that was my next job, which was just as crazy. But dude,
okay, I thought that was your first job.
I'm a busboy, not a waiter. No. I was too young and too stupid. I was like 15 and a half years old, and I'm thrown into the restaurant business, which is just this violently vile, horrible business, right? These people are messed up. And I got thrown into that at 15 and a half years old, some naive little kid. And dude, I learned pretty quick. Waitresses are insane. Cooks are insane. Dishwashers are criminals. That's what I learned about the restaurant business in the first 2 days of my job as a busboy.
Is the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds
perfect,
the greatest piece of cinema that accurately sums up what it's like to work in a restaurant?
It was my situation exactly. I mean, not with the ball bag shit, but I mean, the dishwasher was an older dude giving out all the sage advice. All the waitresses would always be in the break room crying because their boyfriends dumped them or whatever
crying,
the situation.
Smoking, doing whatever else.
And then all the waiters come in. They oh, it's okay, baby. We should go out later tonight. And then they come back and I banged that waitress last night. The restaurant business is wild, but it's a great life metaphor because it is crazy. But at the end of the day, you're all working to keep the customers happy, keep those coffees going, and keep the food tasting good, man. It's wild. It was a great job. Yeah. What about you, Ro? What was your first job?
First job was nothing's easy with me. Is a paperboy your first job? Is that like the first thing you kind of do to make money?
Because I'm 16, right?
No, I'm way younger. So first job that my mom had to go drop me off. Okay. And I got paid $3.35 an hour. That was minimum wage in the 1800s when I did this job as a dishwasher. It was a dishwasher, but it wasn't just a regular dishwasher. It was for a catering company. Ooh. And so I would get dropped off up north where Jason and I are from. You get married in a fire hall. Yes. You have your wedding reception in a fire hall. Okay. Correct. You get married at the church. Then you go and take pictures. Everyone goes home, sits around, fucks around in their nice clothes. They don't know if they should change or what. Then you go to the reception and you go to some fire hall. Okay.
With some balloons and some streamers.
So Knights of Columbus, fire hall, everyone kind of gets it.
VFW.
I'm working for a catering service that I got to go to these different halls and I'm the dishwasher. So if it's a 200, guest wedding, I'm getting 200 plates, 200 forks, 200 saucers, 200 coffee cups. They're coming back all at once.
Oh yeah, all at once.
Okay. I'm getting, dude, do you think there was another dishwasher if there was 400 people at that wedding?
No.
One dishwasher. It's the hardest I've ever worked my entire life. It was the absolute most difficult job ever. $3.35 an hour. We had to load the truck, okay, from the fire hall, go back to the catering service, unload the truck, then call my mom at like 12:30 at night to come and pick me up. She would drop me off. She would drop me off at whatever fire hall, wherever the gig was. You'd start there, and then she'd pick me up at the catering service, and she'd pick me up at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was just ragged.
Oh, no,
and
you stink 16. Like filth. You stink like filth because you've been washing dishes.
Nobody would do that job. It was, I'm telling you, I've never worked harder in my entire life than my first job.
Dude, I got to work. Wait. I got to tell you this because you're going to be like, you're going to get mad. And I love it when you get mad at me. Dude, so I'm working in a hotel. So this is a hotel, right? With a restaurant attached. So occasionally room service would get called down. Right. And they'd say, hey, and then like the room service dude, the waiters were busy or shit in the restaurant. So they would occasionally, it only happened once in a while. Hey, Jason, can you run this dinner up to room, 684? Sure. Okay. You might get tipped. All right, cool. I'm like 16 and a half years old. I've been working there for a year. I got like a tuxedo shirt on, black pants. I got the tray of food. I got the ticket. I walk it up, knock on the door like you would. Room service. Boom. And then the door opens up.
If this doesn't fucking end with a naked chick opening up the door and bringing you in there and just ravaging you, I'm going to be so mad.
No, I pussed out. I wimped out. I freaked out, dude. I was like, I don't want to lose my job. I was more concerned about my stupid job at
Wait a minute, did
16
the
and a
naked
half.
chick answer the door? I'm just kidding.
She was wearing a bathrobe and it wasn't closed. You could see anything you wanted to see. The beef, everything was hanging
Are you
out.
effing with me right now?
I swear to Christmas, this happens, dude. This
Oh my
happened
God.
to me. I was freaked out. I was completely shocked. I know I'm going to take shit for this.
You didn't
Well,
bang
should've
that
banged
chick.
her. You should have banged the chick, man. Dude, I'm 16 years old. I don't know
I'm done with
anything.
you. I'm done with you.
They told me to hurry back. My boss said, hurry back.
What was the over-under? 5? Like, did you think that Jason and I were going to make it to podcast 5? I'm done. Are you listening to me? I can't do this anymore.
Dude, you quit every time we do a podcast. You've quit every episode. You've literally quit every episode. So yeah,
All
I
right.
wasn't washing dishes, but yeah, I had an opportunity and I blew it.
You should have never told me that story.
I know.
I'm so mad at you right now. First piece of music. Go. I'm so pissed.
First piece of music I bought myself.
Yeah.
That's a weird one. You know what I was given?
I think it does. I think it does need to be what you paid your own money for, because I got Kiss records when I was a little kid.
Right. I got my parents gave you tons of shit. So
I had a bunch of records, but yeah, the first thing that like I took my paper route money and I bought my piece of music. What's the first piece of music that you went out and you bought?
I think I've said it before. It was the Quiet Riot Mental Health album on cassette.
Good album.
Yeah, it was all I could afford. So I had a boom box that I got for my birthday and I put it in there and I played that thing over and over and I didn't listen to anything else. I mean, I burnt that shit out.
I forgot we were doing this.
Yeah. What was your first piece of music?
Hang on, dude. I'm being serious now. Talk about Quiet Riot for 15 seconds. Go.
Quiet Riot, the greatest band when it came out. I heard Come On Feel the Noise on the radio. And I remember watching Quiet Riot perform. Remember the show Solid Gold, right? They had the Solid Gold dancers and they would always have the acts come on who had like the big hits. Well, at the time, no rock bands were on Solid Gold. It was always the wimpy pop stuff. So when Solid Gold happened, I stayed up and was watching Quiet Riot on Solid Gold and they lip synced. And at first I didn't realize that they lip synced on these shows. And then as the song was fading out, they had the fade of the song. If you listen to the album version of Come On, Feel the Noise, right? It fades at the end of it. The song started fading and the dude's like still jumping around singing. And I was pissed from that point forward. I figured out the TV's not real.
Oh boy.
They were lip syncing. So where the hell did you go?
I forgot we were doing this. I really did. I forgot about this segment. I promise you. I swear I forgot. So first piece of music. This is it.
Oh my God.
This is it.
You do keep everything.
This is the first piece of music that I ever owned. It's Styx, Come Sail Away.
Is that a single?
The 45.
Yes.
But it's the picture sleeve, bro. Like, you bought 45s back in the day and it was just like a brown deal.
Yeah.
This was the picture sleeve. I loved this song, Come Sail Away by Styx. It's not the most embarrassing record that you could own for your first piece of music. I bought it with my own money. And I bet you it was 89 cents. I still, what you're missing if you're not watching the YouTube channel is I'm holding up the 45 that I bought. I'm not good with classic rock.
Come Sail Away that's late 70s.
It says 76, 77.
Yeah, that was gonna say that's late 70s when that came out, man.
So this is paper route money that I still have right here.
That's cool.
It was in the living room.
And they put artwork on the 45s. That's pretty cool back then. It's got the sailor ship on it there and the spaceship. It's cool.
Yeah. So it's like a cool looking sleeve, almost like its own like mini album cover for the 45.
Right. That's what's missing today. You don't get the artwork.
Dude, totally cool.
First
piece of music I ever owned. No big deal. Okay, first concert. Again, I'm not counting my mom and dad taking me to go see Sha Na Na. I'm talking about your first concert that you kind of went. Maybe a cool uncle took you, or the first one that you went with your boys that you were allowed to go.
Fucking White Snake at Darien Lake outside of Buffalo, New York. I was 19. So I didn't go to a real concert until I was much older. I never went to any really shows.
Dude, you really should have whipped out the White Snake on that chick during the hotel story. I can't get it out of my mind. Continue.
You know what's funny is she was cranking up Come Sail Away on her clock radio in the hotel room when I walked in.
Probably had the big, huge hair. Dude, you stink.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Boy,
All right. So you go see Whitesnake.
I go see Whitesnake, and me and my buddies. I had a buddy of mine, Eric, who thought it'd be cool to make fake IDs, right? Because the drinking,
because he's crazy.
No, I was 17. The drinking age, I think, it was 21. So yeah, I was like 19. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Anyway, we made fake IDs. So my buddy got an acceptance letter from Cornell. An artist friend of mine took it, and then he copied it perfectly, blew it up, and made a fake board. And then another buddy of mine had a Polaroid. And then we stood in front of this fake artist board. And then another buddy of mine worked at Blockbuster Video. So we spent a couple days making fake IDs, made up names and shit for ourselves. So for a while, I went to Cornell University. Dude, I've still got it. I could dig it out, but it'll take me an hour to find it. So I'll have to bring it for next time. Or I'll put the picture.
Hang on. Keep talking. I'll go get mine. I'm just kidding. That's a
fake
joke.
ID. So anyway, I'm at Whitesnake with the boys and shit. And I'm like super excited. And they're all drinking beers because they're all older. And I'm fucking standing there like a dick. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to go try this thing out. I went, boom, worked. Dude, Whitesnake, Steve Vai was playing guitar on that tour. It was the loudest thing. Dude, I swear to God, it imploded my eardrums. It was so fucking loud.
You remember? Now, Whitesnake was headlining, right?
Yeah, it was so great. I think it was like Faster Pussycat and somebody else opened. Okay. Either way, it was fucking great. And I've been a Whitesnake. Awesome. Dude, I don't remember anything much other than drinking a shit ton of huge beers that day.
Dude, speaking of fake IDs, did you guys, Jason and I didn't go to high school together. We didn't meet until later on in college. And I think you were just rounding 21 years old, I think, when we met. Did you guys take like a really sharp pencil? See, I was born in 1969 and I could make that an 8. I could make the 9, a digital 9 could be turned into a digital 8 with 2 little lines, really super fine. And then you would spray hairspray over it. I mean, again, if I would just have like applied the efforts that I do to these things elsewhere. Okay.
Be a doctor, dude.
Did you do that? Did you do that trick at all? Was that like in the Lockport area where you grew up? Because that was huge. 71. Everybody was taking a pencil. Then they kind of figured it out. And then the guys were just, they had water there and they were wiping it. It worked a couple times though. It did. Okay. First piece of music, first concert for me was I could go run up and get the t-shirt, but I'm not going to put you through that. Blue Oyster Cult. Boom.
Oh, interesting.
I was a huge Blue Oyster Cult fan. Girls' School opened up the show, which I don't think they really did much after that. And you want to talk about a great venue, and I'm trying to think like what's the equivalent. I don't think here in Houston we have the equivalent. In New Orleans you have the equivalent with the Sanger, but we had Shays in Buffalo.
The historic theaters. Yeah.
The historic theater. And it's got that huge sign that says Buffalo that, if you're ever there, Chicago has one, probably the same architects that did it. And it says Chicago. You want to get that picture. I saw Blue Oyster Cult at Shays and it was amazing. And it was the first time that I was out with just the boys. They were a little bit, I hung around some guys that were a little bit older than me. I was probably 16. Oof. 16. My parents let me go. My mom let me go.
There's that 16. That fucking freedom.
They were 18-year-olds, and because they lived on the street. These weren't just stranger danger 18-year-olds. These were kids that grew up in our neighborhood, and then boom, I just hung around with them the whole time when we were growing up. So that's the only reason why they let me go. Yeah, Blue Oyster Cult. Yes,
nice. That's a good one too.
First car.
First car.
You guys got to know this about Jake. He's a total gearhead and he loves cars. Like he's super like car guy. So I'm sure you had something that you were tinkering and working on because as long as I've known you, you've had grease under your fingernails. You've had the dirtiest hands of any radio guy I've ever seen.
And it's great, man. Yeah, no, when I grew up, my dad was a big car guy and my uncle was, and then all my buddies in the neighborhood were car guys. And I hung out like you with older dudes on the street. So they already had their cars. So I was like, of course, I've been working since I was younger and saving my dimes and my nickels and every penny went into it, man. So for $500, I found this newspaper ad. Some old dude had a 1975 Dodge Dart. and it was $500, and I had like $520 saved up.
Now, hang on a second. There's different kinds of Dodge Darts, just like there were different kinds of Novas. You know, there were cool looking Novas, and then there was like shitty kind of like the Nova that I guess we had in our family. Is a Dodge Dart on its own? Because I've seen them like all muscled out before. What does a Dodge Dart look like just off the showroom floor that an old man would own?
Literally, an old man owned this, and it was proper in his garage. 75 was not a good year for darts. It was the end of it all. You wanted like 72 and older for a Dodge Dart.
I told you, he knows this shit. He's so into these numbers. Keep
Novas, same concept. A Nova, yeah, you wanted pre-72. Most muscle cars, you want pre-72, 73 at the latest usually.
Fair enough.
So anyway, and it was green, had a white vinyl top. So I spent a lot of money getting it painted black, and I did work on the engine. So it ended up looking cool by the time I was done. But, you know, you're polishing a turd at the end of the day. It was a 75 Dodge Dart with a 318.
You couldn't turn that into like a muscle car, like where it would be accepted into the world of, you and your dumb car people.
No, because it's 75. Just doesn't now. But look, now it would be cool. Now if someone had that car, they'd be like,
of course, it's 100 years old now.
Right. But back then in the 90s, no, it wasn't cool at all. How about you? What was your first car?
We've talked about it during the van episode. It was the 1977 Dodge Tradesman. It came complete with the Krager rims and the Kelly tires, and it was the bed was in the back. It was all carpeted. It had a fur ceiling.
Jesus.
It had the huge doghouse where I'm driving, and then $1,800. I bought it.
Ooh.
And 3 on the tree, baby.
That's the best.
Meaning it was a standard, right?
Yeah,
stick shift standard,
clutch, the whole 9.
Yeah, a van, and the linkage was all fucked up, and we still bought it because I needed it because I was in a band and I needed to carry my drums around. So that was, my dad understood that. My mom was not happy about me rolling up in the driveway. It had a bed in the back. I mean, this thing was pimped out. I mean, no windows, the whole thing. We already talked about this. Go listen to our van episode because we were talking about Dave Grohl's got that documentary coming out. I think it might even be this weekend. So yeah, a van. My first vehicle was a total sin bin. It was awesome. It was awesome. But yeah, I would be so creepy. I'm sure it's not like we talked about Aerosmith, that whole episode of them trying to find their old van. There's a piece of me that would love to see my old van. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because then I'd end up buying it, and then I'd end up pouring money into it, which what am I going to do? How am I going to explain that to my kid? Yeah, I used to drive this around. I'm embarrassed. But I wouldn't be so embarrassed that I wouldn't buy it. But Papa John, didn't he run a promotion? Did you ever see this? Papa John, who's no longer with them, he had his own set of problems. But when the guy that was doing the commercials, Papa John, he went out and looked for his first Camaro and he found it. He made a whole thing about it. That guy got his first car back.
That would be kind of cool in a way.
Think about that, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I think our cars are probably in scrap heaps, or worse yet, they were probably what do you call that? Compacted or whatever.
They're washing machines now. They've been recycled, especially up north, man. Your car rots out. I know when I got rid of my Dodge Dart, that thing was rusting to shit at that point. It was falling apart. So yeah, most of your cars, if you were up north, if you're out west or in the south, you got a better shot. But yeah, to find the car you originally had, I don't even know where the hell you begin on that. You can't reverse.
I don't know the ins and outs, but I mean, Boston. Somehow Aerosmith found their van, and that's way older than the vehicles that we owned.
Rod, I know you watch a lot of movies. Coming up, top 5 favorite actors of all time. We're gonna do that in just a second. But first, dude, last weekend was pretty decent weather. I know in New Orleans, so I can only assume it was pretty decent in Houston. We have fairly similar weather patterns. If you're looking to go have some fun on the weekends or during the week, hell, go to Lucky's Pub West, I-10 in Barker Cypress. Now, you could go watch a Rockets game, but you're better off seeing an Astros baseball game. They might actually win one of those. Anyway.
Astros win a couple.
Yeah, over 40 TVs. The food is delicious, man. They got the best pizza on the best side. The wings, look out. I actually saw a picture posted on the Lucky's Instagram page, wet. Wings need to be wet, loaded up with sauce, crispy and wet. They look good, man. Burgers and the famous Philly cheese steak egg rolls. Rod, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Again, I got another instant message. Dude, seriously, those things are delicious. Don't make fun of them. And you know what? I haven't made fun of them once, but I always highlight those things and people give me shit about it. Apparently they're really good. The Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. And they're now doing the crawfish on the weekends. Oh, crawfish on the weekends. Let's get some of that. Call up the boys and go get some damn crawfish, man. Check the Facebook page for all the details. There's always an ice cold beer or a lot of them at a fair price. Lucky's Pub West, I-10 at Barker Cypress. One of my favorite actors just turned 57 years old this week. Daniel Day-Lewis, Rod. You know him, Abraham Lincoln. He played the role of Lincoln. He has been in such iconic roles. Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher.
Dude, that's one of his best, if not his best. You know, he gets credit for There Will Be Blood. People say that that's his best role. I thought he was great in it. I just didn't love that movie. And that was one of the movies that he won an Oscar for. If you don't mention Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, just
the music in Last of the Mohicans. It's just the soundtrack. And that's one where it's the score. Mm-hmm. The score is phenomenal. Go ahead.
So it got me thinking. I'm like, well, you know, we've done a lot of music shit. So why don't we shift some gears once in a while? And we both are huge movie fans. And it seems like we've always watched the same stupid movies all the time. Rod, give me not the best, your top 5 favorite actors of all time.
Why are these lists? Why are they so difficult?
They're not until you start putting it together. And you start doing a little look around. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah, you start out with 20 and you got to hone it down to 5.
So I had to make a top 10.
What?
I had to make no. I'm not going to put you through that. I had to make a top 10 and then I moved things around. I take these things very serious because it's probably the most commented thing on our podcast right now is when we talk about, you know, a top 5. You and I did a guitar list, and in our top 5s, Jimi Hendrix did not appear on the list. Or in mine, it didn't.
No, mine either. No.
So you and I put out, for the first time in the history of any guitar list, there was no Jimi Hendrix on there. So I think that same thing's going to happen here.
But it's okay because it's your own personal
favorites.
Yeah.
Okay. This is so hard. This was so difficult.
Yeah.
Okay. In at number 5, you know, if I'm going to take shit for somebody on my list, it's going to be him.
Uh-oh.
But I don't care. You can't deny. I don't care if he's a weirdo or not. Tom Cruise is a top 5 all-time actor. Tom Cruise is awesome. And I have had a chance to interview him before. He was so awesome. He was so great. It was just over the phone. Tom Cruise. And I really do. I will say this because, you know, there's nothing that really I need to go out to the movie theaters and see. Goddamn, if I will go see Top Gun at the theater. I promise you that.
It's the only way. It's the only way you can see it the first time.
I promise you I will go see. I don't even know how they can improve on the first one, but I might take some crap for that. Tom Cruise, I think he's a phenomenal actor. I really do. Okay. That's my number 5. Number 4, Clint Eastwood. I just think the body of work is almost untouchable. And when I talk about it, you can't discount the stuff that he's directed later on in life too. He's just this all around unbelievable guy. And he's just reached so many different generations. Clint Eastwood in at 4.
Okay.
In at number 3, I'm wondering if this guy even made your top 5.
Really?
Leonardo DiCaprio is such a badass. Okay. He is so unbelievably talented. I'm telling you, he could have been 2. He could have been 2 on my list. That's how great Leo is. And he started out as just such a punk kid. I mean, yeah, even going all the way back to what? Family Ties. No, not Family Ties.
Growing Pains.
Thank you. He was the Jump the Shark. He was Cousin Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was Cousin Oliver on Growing Pains or whatever the Cousin Oliver was of that show.
Right.
What an unbelievable actor. I love every single thing he does.
Yeah. He's great.
In at number 2, Tom Hanks.
Wow, Hanks.
Tom Hanks, I do love everything that he does. And I just think he's cool. I really do think Tom Hanks is cool. I used all kinds of things to weigh into this, but if you're not following Tom Hanks on Instagram, he's awesome. He's just
so
cool.
Great. He's a cool guy, it seems like. Just in any interview or anything, he's just cool.
Number one, and I know that's why you brought this up, but I've always said this, Daniel Day-Lewis is the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah.
What I have given you is just like my guitar list because I don't have
anybody. There's so many people you can throw on there. 5's hard. 5 is really hard, dude.
I've given you a list, and it's just like when I was missing from my guitar list, I didn't have Clapton and I didn't have Hendrix.
Right.
I did not have De Niro or Al Pacino on my list. I didn't put them in my top 5. I didn't. And I know it's going to take shit for it.
Yeah, but they're still great.
They're awesome.
Still love them, but it's like you got to whittle it down. And where do you stop?
I mean, The Godfather, Scarface, the greatest, right? But
Heat.
The body of
Heat
work
was just on.
And what I get super excited about, and I'm thinking about how many movies that I've seen with the guys that I mentioned. I hate these top 5 lists. They're pissing me off. Go.
What are you going to do? Quit again? You already quit once. It's just
I'm done with
now.
your dumb top 5 lists. Okay,
so
number 5.
I like actors who take chances with different roles. Okay. And I feel like, and this is not a slight on anybody, and I probably got it wrong, but like,
I'm going to write down a name. And if you say he's on, hang on.
All right. You're writing down a name. Okay.
I'm writing down a name. If he's in your top 5, I quit.
Okay. Oh shit. God damn. Again? How many times are you going to quit?
I will. Listen, I'm not. I will. If you say his name, I hold it up. I'll quit.
Again. Go. It's the 3rd time. I should have to go back to that hotel room and find that girl. So as
soon as you said take chances, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Here comes his dumb list. Okay. And this is, you got to give me a second on this one. Okay. I
right.
love watching Keanu Reeves at number 5. And I know what you're thinking. He can't act. No, he can't. He can't act his way out of a paper bag. But I love the fact that he keeps getting these amazing roles, okay? He's played the role of Ted from Bill and Ted in every role. He played The Matrix, and he was a chunk of wood. The only movie he ever did that was great, and I do mean great, Point Break. Point Break, he was great. And now they got
Do you not think that John Wicks are great?
Well, but he doesn't talk in John Wicks. He just kills people. That's what's great about it. His career, I can't take my eyes off him. And he is a handsome fella, and he gets better looking with age. I will say Keanu Reeves at number 5. I know it's kind of a weird one.
But he's so internet hot right now. Like, he is the coolest guy. I don't know what you know about his story,
awesome.
But he's out there and he's just dropping. He bought a convenience store for somebody and blah, blah, blah. And all these stories are coming out about him. He doesn't do it for the recognition. He's just a great human being.
Yeah, and he's cool.
I like that pick.
From an actor standpoint, he kind of, I don't know how he gets these roles, man. Number 4, I had Leonardo DiCaprio.
No kidding. I was wondering if you were even going to put him in your top 5.
No, because I love the fact that he does take chances with different characters. You got to think about The Departed, Django Unchained, The Revenant. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Remember that movie with Johnny Depp, and he played the young kid who was messed up? He was unbelievable in Aviator. You put on Wolf of Wall Street, cut it out. You can go on all day with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'll say this. I had him at 3. You have him at 4. Let's do this list in 10 years.
It would be different. He'll be number one.
He's going to go down as the greatest actor of all time.
He has not made his ultimate role yet. He's not found it. It's not happened yet. And he's made some pretty damn good movies already.
Because he's only won 1 Academy Award. You're right.
Number 3, I put Christian Bale. Christian Bale is a chameleon. He's loses weight. He does all this shit. American Psycho. Come on. When he kills Jared Leto.
You see that list right there?
Christian Bale's on it. Christian Bale's on it. Yep.
He didn't make the cut for me. He's so great.
Batman. American Hustle is a great movie. And then I just watched again the other night, Ford versus Ferrari. He plays Ken Miles, the race car driver. It's freaking great. He's unbelievable. He's effortless. This one is an interesting pick. Number 2, Robin Williams.
I love that pick.
Why I say Robin Williams is because think about my criteria. Chooses different roles.
What does that say right there? Robin Williams.
Exactly.
I'm showing Jason on the camera like everything that just was outside of my top 5. Of course, I had Robin Williams in there. one of the funniest people of all time, but he was a great actor.
He was unbelievable. Good Will Hunting, Dead Poet Society, Good Morning Vietnam, Jumanji, Awakenings. If you never saw Awakenings, dude, that movie is messed up. You'd be bummed out, but man, he is so great in that movie.
I like that pick. You got him at number 2?
I do have him at number 2. Yeah. Of course, he's dead, so he's not going to make any more. But just fun. I always thought he was a great actor, and he just kept making these cool roles. And then Daniel Day-Lewis, Abraham Lincoln, Gangs of New York, Bill the Butcher.
He's your number 1?
What's the matter? The cunny juice got your lips all sealed shut. Oh, God. I've rewound that scene 1,000 times.
I introduced that line to the show. I'm like, hey, I'm talking to you. What's the matter? You all gummed up?
Is your lips all sealed up with the cunny juice? I'm like, oh, and his hair is just greasy, and he created that character. That's
so why no De Niro and why no Pacino? I mean, I don't have a great answer for you either.
It feels like they play the same guy in every role.
Okay.
And they're like, I feel that Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise. You don't get past it's Tom Cruise. And I want to see an actor where I don't really feel like I'm watching Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise, I love all the Mission Impossible movies. Everything he does, I love him.
I've only seen one Mission Impossible, and I still put him in my top 5.
They're all.
I think he's that great. I do. I think he's an awesome actor.
But it feels just. I mean, where's Anthony Hopkins? I mean, holy crap! Is he effortless when he acts? And I want to lose the actor. I want to see the character. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I can't do it, Tom Cruise.
What about the guy that has just turned us off? And he said, these fucking guys. Do people think that Jack Nicholson is the greatest actor of all time?
I'm sure there's well, think about our age group though, man. I think there are older people. I mean, you got One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You got The Departed. In The Departed, he was just full blown evil. Dude, that scene where he's got the hookers and he takes the blow, a fistful of blow, and he throws it at that chick's ass and goes, get in there, or whatever he says. And it's like, fuck, he's so great. But I mean, yeah, I guess he could be one of the best.
I mean, he's Jack. He's Jack. He's front row. He's got back when the Academy Awards and the Oscar, the award show meant something. Right. Jack was front row. He went to the thing. He is this massive Hollywood star. Right. I didn't put him in my top 5. The only other guy that I was kind of struggling a little bit with, Russell Crowe. I think he's that good.
He is really good. Yeah. I
think he's that freaking good. Not top 5 good, but enough that I wanted to mention him. I had him right around Christian Bale for me. I really think Russell Crowe is great. Now, when you threw this out to me, I know that you use the term actors where I'm thinking dudes.
Sure.
But in Hollywood, when they say actors, they mean actors. They mean, men and women. Best female actress.
Oh,
I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm unprepared. I'm
putting you on the spot. So, of course, I think just like Jack Nicholson, the easy answer is Meryl Streep.
Sure.
Okay. And now everybody's like talking about Frances McDormand because she just won and she's been around. You got to go to these people that are around. I think Meryl Streep, when you talk about like the greatest female actor, she's probably been nominated the most.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'd have to go do some research on that one. I can't think of it.
Now they're looking at Glenn Close. She's lost a bunch of times. She's twerking on the Oscars. The greatest female actress of all time.
Shit,
Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah. I was just watching
Aviator. Aviator, because you already brought up Aviator.
Yeah.
Okay. She plays Katharine Hepburn, which probably somebody's going to say Katharine Hepburn's the greatest female actress of all time too. But she played Katharine Hepburn. Anything that I've seen Kate Blanchett do, she is unbelievable. She's nails in everything she does. And I probably have only seen maybe 3 or 4 roles with her in it.
But she's the one, and like going back to my criteria, she tries different shit. She can
do anything.
Same person, right? Like Tom Cruise is Tom Cruise, and it's Tom Cruise. With her, I mean, she played the villain in the Thor Ragnarok movie.
Well, see, I don't even know that.
Holy shit!
I'm out of the superhero world, so
and I don't look at her as hot either. I don't think she's sexy. In that movie, I was like, holy shit, she's hot. When did she get hot? She got a weird look about her.
She's chiseled.
Yeah.
Like she's carved out of ivory,
What amazing actress.
dude, I'm
Amazing
telling you,
actors.
I don't. You know what? I'm kicking Tom Cruise off, and I'm putting Kate Blanchett in at 5. Should have just gone with that right out of the gate. The other one I'll say with Kate is Hilary Swank. I think Hilary Swank is just so unbelievable at what she can do. And I mean, if you never saw the boxing movie, holy shit.
Christmas. What the hell? Well, it's Clint Eastwood and he directed it, right?
That's right. That is a Clint Eastwood movie.
Yeah, dude. I mean, forget about what that dude, what he's done just directing. He's one of the all-time greats. Forget about all his
she
acting.
played the one where she played the dude. She's won a couple Academy Awards. So she's got a couple under her belt. So she's got to be on every all-time list.
And she's effortless.
Yeah.
You know, the way it looks.
Kate Blanchett. Kate Blanchett is the greatest female actress of all time for me. She's her and Daniel Day-Lewis. But Daniel Day-Lewis is weird because if you, and it's weird because you said that, you know, he's your favorite too. The guy's only made 15 movies. Something like that. It's bizarre. I don't know everything about him. I know that I've seen 10 of them. Okay. I even saw the dumb one about the sewing. Okay.
But he learned to sew. He's so meticulous. He went to classes and learned to sew so it would be right in the movie. I mean, that's the attention to detail that you need to have.
He stayed in character. He made people call him, he's a method actor. He made people call him Abraham Lincoln on the set. Like he never, and think about it. There's no recordings. I think he's won 3 Academy Awards now. My Left Foot, I think There Will Be Blood. He didn't win for Gangs of New York, I don't think.
No, he probably should have, of course.
I don't think he won, but I think he did win for Lincoln. Anyway, there's no recordings of Abraham Lincoln, yet you're going to play Abraham Lincoln. I don't think he's the obvious choice. I have a vision of Abraham Lincoln, you know, being about a foot taller than Daniel Day-Lewis. Mm-hmm. But whatever he did, and he had to invent a voice. And it wasn't this booming what do you see when you see somebody pretending to be Abraham Lincoln? 407 years ago, they blah, 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 blah,
it's huge. It's like this big.
That wasn't the voice he chose. He came up with a voice, and at first, I'm like, "You're blowing it. Why are you talking like that? There's no way fucking Abraham Lincoln sounded like that." By the end of the movie, you're like, who are these idiots going 4 score? That's Abraham Lincoln. Like I believed I was watching Abraham Lincoln. That's what makes him the greatest.
And he looked so great. If you look at the
unbelievable,
pictures. But it's all about that pregame. It's the years of research that goes into it. Talking with Spielberg, because I think he directed it. You know, Abraham Lincoln, I think, what was he from, like Indiana or somewhere? So he probably went, okay, what's the regional dialect sound like? And then you get a voice coach and you get all this people. So, you know, when you see these actors and you see them on the film and then you see these award shows and it's like everyone bitches about the Oscars. Oh, there's just a bunch of rich Hollywood elites slapping each other on the back. Yeah, okay, I get that. But, you know, there's a lot more that goes into it than you realize. You know, when you win that Oscar, you won the trophy that night. You're probably 3 or 4 years into that project that you just won the trophy for. We got to do we should do actresses in an upcoming episode because I need to do research on that. I can't just come in cold. I'm not that good. I can't do it. All right, Rod, let's wrap this thing up. Final thoughts, Rod. What do you got to finish this thing off with?
So when we did the little exercise of the top 5 actors and you come out, and I don't know what's going to be on your list. And you say, yeah, this guy for his diversity. And I made you stop. Mm-hmm. I said diversity and take chances or whatever. And I said, I'm going to write down a name. And I said, if he's in your top 5, I quit. I am not quitting. The name I wrote down was Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
If he was going to be in your, I can't stand him. I don't know what it is. I mean, you know, he's a rock guy and the tattoos and that Jack Sparrow. I can't with him. I cannot with him and the voices and the Willy Wonka. Okay. Edward Scissorhands was okay. I can't get into that guy.
There's
So-
certain things he does that are okay, but yeah, you're right. It's a little goes a long way. And I think the Willy Wonka was terrible. And there's other things that he's done that's been pretty bad, but he's had some good roles over the years. But yeah, he's fallen off. Obviously, he's got some other issues going on.
My final thoughts: Johnny Depp stinks, and it looks like I'm going to do another podcast with you because you did not put him in your top 5. Final thoughts for you.
Actually, you know what? My my son and I came up with a new invention. And I know what you're thinking. No, you didn't. Yeah, we did actually. And it's kind of cool. He and I, we listen to a lot of music on the way to school every morning, right? And a couple of years ago, we got him into the Red Hot Chili Peppers because we're gonna go see him at Jazz Fest. We took him. He loved it. He knew every song. It was great. Okay. Well, then he realized that not wearing a shirt was cool, right? Now
Chili Peppers.
he's 12. Now every summer, the last couple of years, the second it gets above like 80 degrees, he's like, Chili Peppers weather, man. We call it Chili Peppers weather at our house. Like there's not like 75, 70, 55. It's either Chili Peppers weather or not Chili Peppers. If Anthony Kiedis is wearing a shirt, it's cold out. If he's not, it's nice out. So I said, hey, what if we make a thermometer, which we could never do because we're never going to get the rights from the Chili Peppers, where all it is two temperatures. If they're wearing shirts, so you got a picture of every guy in the band, right? They got shirts on. When it gets above 80 degrees, the shirts either go up, so they're shirtless, or they disappear. That's your thermometer. That's the only thing that matters in this house, man. It's either shirt weather or not shirt weather. Somebody take and run with that. Call the Chili Peppers. Someone's going to make $1 million on that because I want one of those. That would be a great thermometer, a Chili Peppers thermometer.
Now he's young. He hasn't come across the picture of them wearing the socks, has he?
I'm a little worried about that actually, because then if we run around,
because that's at 100. It's just, Dad, I'm just gonna go wear a sock today. That's it. What do you mean? Just a sock. That's it. That's all. It's about 99 in New Orleans, Dad. It's just one sock weather.
We got to wait till it gets 100. And it doesn't usually get to be 100 here, so we might be okay. But man, if he does that research, I'm afraid of what he's going to come up with. Yeah, the Chili Peppers thermometer, dude, it might be kind of cool.
I like it. All right, bro. This was episode 5.
Seems like it.
Damn,
Yeah, 5. It was 5. Yeah, you quit again today, so thanks.
All right. Well, listen, if you made it this far, as always, we thank you. We can't believe that you still are listening or watching, but yeah, if those of you that are just listening, man, hit us up on the YouTube page and you can watch. And we've had a couple of glitches in this one, so we've got some work to do to get this thing sounding good and looking good because freaking Zoom's cut out on us 3 times.
And actually, you know what? We talk a lot of behind the scenes radio shit, and hopefully people dig that because I've always been a fan of like finding out what makes certain things work. I love the behind the scenes stuff. So if you've got something, hit us up on one of our social media pages at Playpants Pod. Like, hey, why does radio do this? Why does radio do that? Because you're looking at 2 old war horses right here. We've done some shit in radio, and if we haven't done it yet, we're probably gonna end up doing it at some point. So yeah, if you got radio questions, fire away, man. We'll be as honest as we can.
I'm so pissed right now because somebody did send me something. And they sent me a question for something for us to address, and I can't remember what it was. Shit. All right,
you could go find that stupid Styx record, but you can't think of that. Come on, man.
1977, man. I had that sucker in 15 seconds.
Come sail away. Now I've got to go listen to that song now because it's a great song.
All right, dude. That's it. We got to go, man. Thank you guys so much for checking this out.
Let's go. It's time. Put on Playpants.
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. See us on our YouTube channel and follow our social media pages at Playpants Pod.